Welcome back, where today we're going to be talking about Battlefield 2042's brand new mode and brand new event called Leviathan Rising, with the Shutdown mode included, with a bunch of new cosmetics and features and all of that good stuff. And frankly, I'm really impressed with this mode, a lot more than the other events impressed me. They've gone all out with new voice lines, new models, new VFX, and a genuinely fun mode that has redesigned a couple of the maps, and I think added a bit more cover around some of the points, and we'll get into all of that, but overall, I'm enjoying it a lot. So let's get straight into it and what I think works and what I think doesn't work and what I think overall about it. The overall gameplay loop of Shutdown is getting essentially a bomb, planting it somewhere, and then having the other team try and disable it. For all of the time that they don't disable it, you get score, and then after the round is over, you swap sides, they now plant and you now defuse, and they are trying to beat your score, and then the game ends after that, and if you had more score on your round than they did on theirs, then you win, and vice versa. Pretty simple concept, but it's spiced up by a couple of new models for the actual bombs themselves, because they aren't bombs, they're EMPs that are kind of destroying data. And overall, the gameplay loop of picking these things up at spawn, going to the actual area and planting them down works really well, especially with the way that the layouts of the levels are designed and the objectives are designed. The actual player count and squad size is 8. I think this is pretty solid. It works with 8v8 because there is a bit of chaos sometimes, but the battle never feels too hectic that with a good team you can't manage it. You can always manage this if you've got a good squad, and you can even wipe an enemy team of 8 with a good squad of 3 or 4 if you communicate properly in this mode for sure. I think the player count is just right. I was a little bit hesitant about it because the player counts in the previous events seemed not too well thought through, to be honest, but here it seems just right. There's a lot of new UI as well, especially in end of round, depending on whether you won swiftly or took the 2 rounds to win, or whether you didn't win, you'll get different messages at the end. I think that's pretty cool. You also have the round displayed, the half-time indicator displayed. There's a lot of new UI elements that really tie the mode together and make it feel more polished than previous events did. Then we've got the new lances themselves that you place down. These are essentially the bombs that you place down and the bombs you have to defuse. There's new voice lines for when somebody is holding one of these. You become a lance carrier if you pick them up on your way to an objective. I appreciate that. The people on comms tell you that a new lance carrier has been killed or somebody's picked up a lance. And the sound design for the lances makes them fairly easy to identify, and this becomes a lot more important later on, but I'll get into that later. For now, the sound design is just on point, and I like the fact that there's new voice lines and even XP events for killing lance carriers or for when somebody picks up a lance. I appreciate the time and effort put into the lance models too. The VFX are pretty solid too as they go off. They kind of pulse and spark. And it's got a cool placement animation as well that you can even see in third person when their teammate does it. They push a bunch of buttons and put it down. I just think that's pretty neat. It's nothing game changing, but it's pretty immersive as you can see a teammate actually do the same animation that you do in first person when you're placing one down, and it's not just a lazy animation of it appearing on the floor. I like that a lot. It makes it feel a lot more grounded, and I like that attention to detail. DICE are known for that, and it's shown here. Now, the actual round system itself I think works pretty well. As I said before, 2 rounds, 1 where you attack and 1 where you defend, and I think the timing and balance of these rounds is pretty solid. Each match is around 14 minutes, although it can be cut short if the enemy team surpasses your score, or if you surpass their score in your attacking round or their attacking round, because the game knows that once they get past your score, you don't have another round after that, therefore you lose. I think that works well, and I think the mode never outstays its welcome, especially since you're rotating through 4 maps. There's a bit of variety in the map choice and you get onto each map quickly. I was able to rotate through all of the maps in just over an hour, I think it was, so it's quick rounds, quick games, and it feels like a very well-paced mode compared to the other ones where they felt too short, too long, or not quite right. I think they've nailed it with Leviathan Rising for sure. I was a little worried about the map design, and some of my worries have been realised unfortunately, but for the most part, the map design works pretty well. Instead of having specific objectives that you have to go and place down or MCOMs to activate, you have a designated area for an objective, and that's where you place down your lance. You can choose where to put this EMP anywhere in that designated objective zone, so you can be pretty sneaky and hide it in different places, and you get to choose where that goes. It gives players agency, and if you want to defend a certain point, you can choose that point to defend when you put down the lance, and your team can kind of get all around it and defend it properly. You're not locked into a specific point if you want to score points. Unfortunately, some of the maps suffer a little bit from spawn trapping. Now, I've seen this most on Flashpoint, to be honest, with the main tower. That scaffolding, people can get up there and kind of see every single spawn that there is. I've been spawn trapped a bit from that. There are certain areas in Manifest as well that are very good power positions, but maybe are a little bit too powerful, like the main building and one of the big observatories. Although I do appreciate the fact that the micro-destruction is brought to the forefront here. I mean, for example, there's one of the observatory domes on Manifest. I was able to zipline up there as McKay and blow open a part of it to get a better position on the enemy as they were advancing towards me, and that allowed me to defend an objective successfully, and we won that round. I like that. It even works as well in other maps like Flashpoint. Most of the walls are destructible, so I grab my SPH explosive launcher and I can shoot at a door if the enemy have claimed the door on their side, so we have to hack it to open it. Instead of hacking it and wasting time and being exposed, I can blow that up and make my way through there. Battlefield is known for that, and I think it fits into this mode really well with the smaller teams, because as a player, you can utilize those routes and create your own routes, and it matters all the more because you've got such a small team size that every move that you make counts more. You can create flanks and opportunities for your team that the enemy might not find because there's less of them. What I'm trying to say here is every single decision and action and piece of destruction created by you counts more because of the team size, and I think certain maps help accentuate this because of their destructibility. Some maps like Exposure don't have much, but there are various routes around that mountain that let you flank the enemy and pull off these moves anyway. Finally, let's talk about, well, the boring stuff, which is cosmetics. I personally think these are fine. I might pick up the Angel one. I think the ones with white masks I'm not going to go for. They seem a little much for me, especially the Pike one. The Irish one is not so bad, and I kind of like the fact that he has no eyes. I think that's pretty cold, but I'm not going to be going for those, mainly because I think the faces are going to stand out in most situations, but to be honest, they're perfectly fine. If you want to buy them, go ahead. It shows you support for the game, and it'll probably extend its lifespan if we buy these things, but personally, I will probably be picking up, as I said, maybe a gun skin or the Angel skin, and that'll be all. Overall though, the Shutdown event has been pretty great. I've really enjoyed it. There are some issues with balancing on maps, but there's nothing that can really be done about that because the maps are set in stone. Those power positions are just going to stay there, and at least each team can kind of use those on each round because they'll swap sides. Even so, this mode has just been really fun to play so far. I kind of wish the maps will rotate over the coming weeks, but I don't think they will. I think they're set, and that kind of sucks because I think it's going to get a little bit stale. But to be honest, I'm happy playing this mode, at least for this week. I'll see how I feel at the end of it after playing a lot of it, but it's been great. Good gameplay loop, good player count, good new UI choices, great sound design, great new models, good round system, good map design for the most part, and some decent cosmetics and rewards. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you played this mode and want to get your thoughts out about it, head to the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you think of it because I'm sitting in my own little YouTuber bubble here. So let me know what you think of it down below. If you want to come and talk to me or anybody else that loves this game, head over to the NoSalt Discord. Link is in the description. If you did enjoy, consider liking and subscribing. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.